to share something with you. That might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from here, and this has been like a therapy session.
Andrew McCART, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast, and you already know I'm always delighted to be joined by my big mate, David Jamieson. David, have you grown that beard to hide the broken jaw? What's happening?
I was growing it to try and sort of hide my chin so that my opponent couldn't hit it, but obviously Mikael Lawal didn't have a problem with that.
No, he found it by all means. But yeah, listen, first and foremost, before we talk about this, the fight itself, and we have spoke a little bit before I pushed record, how's things? Everything generally on the up?
Everything's fine. The response off the back of the fight's been amazing. Support, everybody, sort of the whole of South Lanarkshire where I'm from has just come out, reached out. Great support. I went back to work on Monday, probably a wee bit too early than I should have. And because I'm not getting the same calories in with like the soup diet and stuff like that, I'm just shattered. So I'll take my foot off to get back off the gas again and maybe listen to the missus a bit more.
Yeah, well, listen, one thing I know, and I think you probably know, you better listen to the missus. You better listen to Kayla. Come on.
Yes, mate. Yes. Yep. Exactly. Happy wife, happy life.
That's what they say. That's what they say. Yeah, let's go to the fight then. When I was watching it, me and Kelly were watching it together Sunday, cheering you on, obviously, being that we are proud Scotsmen, but Kelly's a woman, Scottish people. Yeah, the game plan seemed to be working. The body work seems to be for me from the outside looking in, seemed to have been the game plan going in there is to work the body, close the distance, but don't stay in the pocket too long. Yeah, so going into the fight, how confident were you going to win that fight, being that you only had 10 days notice?
It's a strange one. I'm always confident, Andy. I think any pro fighter's got to back themselves. But I know what you're saying. Obviously, the 10 days notice. I mean, I've been in much better physical shape. But I'm always keeping myself fit. So I knew I could do what was really required. But no, I knew Mikael. I knew he was that massive, big puncher. I mean, that is it. I said it. I made no qualms about it in the build-up. He's a one-trick pony, albeit a very good trick, and he got me. But it's get in there, do enough just to bank some rounds, keep draining him, take him past the 6, take him past the 8, and then honestly try and force the stoppage into the championship rounds. And I believe I was well on track to do that before the injury.
You mentioned, obviously, please forgive me if I'm being rude here, David, but like I said, I said that to Kelly as well, when I seen, I was like, David's normally tight and a physical specimen. I almost thought to myself, I hope he hasn't took this fight just too early for him to get that weight off, and it wasn't a big heavy weight cut, and we'll start seeing you tired, because you set a high pace. You were setting a high pace in there, and I was almost thinking to myself, oh, please don't tie it up, because Mikael, man, what a specimen he is. I mean, he's always a fit man. But did you feel tired in there as it was coming into the 8th and 9th round?
That's the thing, I mean, it's see that pace, honestly, Andy, and I'm by what you say. I mean, the likes of like me at Turnberry in February. I mean, that's what you're dealing with. That's me at 100%, my proper camp behind me. Obviously, I didn't have that, but see that pace, and guys that know me that have been in the gym with me and stuff like that. I'm that sort of marauding, like smoking Joe Frazier. See that pace that you were seeing 7, 8. I could do that all night. I could honestly be doing that all night. I can just chug away. Once I get into a certain heart rate and things like that, I can honestly just maintain that pace. And that's obviously one of my calling cards is as a cruiserweight. Big boys at that, and they like to box at their own pace, whereas I'll just be right on your chest all the time.
I mean, obviously, Mikael Lawal, man, there's not a lucky shot in boxing, because if you mean to throw it, you throw it. You landed that right uppercut right at the end of the round. I mean, I don't know, maybe if he didn't throw that right uppercut and he was just trying to get the round out of the way, who knows what could happen. But that right uppercut, it seemed like as soon as that landed on your jaw, you knew something was wrong.
So believe it or not, if you watch it back, it was the left hook that broke my jaw.
Was it?
Because I've come under, he threw a left hook and then he threw like a left uppercut. It was the left hook, because everybody was saying to me, what shot was it? It was when I've come under, my jaw's been shut. If your jaw's open, you get hit here and it breaks there, or vice versa. If you get hit here, it breaks here. My jaw was shut. what's happened is he's caved like the mandible in. So when I've come under, he's came with a left hook and it's hit me here.
Right.
And that's all caved in. Because I was telling, there's a lovely story, the glamour of it. But when something small changes in your mouth, you know, if you go for a filling or something, you know right away. The way that caved in, my 2 back molars burst through the gum and were sitting underneath my tongue. But my 2 back teeth were actually underneath my tongue. So obviously, but when I get back, you see, at the end of each round, I'm always still fighting as the bell goes. But when we exchanged jabs at the end of the 8th, I mean, I was turning on my heels as the bell went to get back to tell Jerry. And it was something along the lines of,
Yeah.
it wasn't quite, oh, by the way, mate, my jaw's broke. So just one of them. I couldn't, fighters fight on with broken jaws and things like that. There was no danger. There was no chance I could have continued with it. My mouth just instantly filled with blood. You could see that in the cameras. I mean, it was just streaming down.
I was almost sort of like, because I knew how well you were doing, I'm looking at, and I was speaking to Kelly throughout the fight, and I was like, he's winning it, he's landed the body shot, because obviously my wife's not that clued up on how to score a fight, so I'm trying to tell her what's going on in that. And I was like, oh, he looks hurt there, I think it's his jaw. And I said to her, I think he should go out for one more round to test it. That's me not knowing how bad the situation is.
Yeah.
I was like, give it one more round. If it's so after that round, then step out. But I was like, nah, it must have been a bad break or something like that. Quit like that. Quit, but stop the fight.
Oh, no, listen, cause you know me, listen, blood and guts, Arturo Gatti, all that sort of stuff. I mean, and especially my big chance at the Lonsdale belt, you know how much it meant to me.
Yep.
But as soon as I get back to the corner, it was just, listen, we're finished. So once Jerry sort of sussed out what was happening with us, and he called the referee over, and I think even the referee, he was getting quite in tune with what was happening. He could see the tide turning. And Jerry said to the referee, look, we need to stop the fight. And the referee actually said to Jerry in the ring, he says, you know, if you stop the fight, he loses. No, we're aware, mate. Aye, unfortunately. But there was no way. I just honestly, I couldn't have done it. If I took another shot, and I made no qualms about it. I mean, I spoke to folk this week. Mikael Lawal, I mean, I've been doing that this long now, Andy, and I've boxed some like big punchers. See Mikael Lawal, see when it hits you. I don't know if it's like a bone density and whatever, but it just, whoa.
That's why he's getting it. That's why he is who he is. I mean, like you said, he might be the one pony, but he's bloody good at it, man. He's very good at it, man. And plus, Mikael's a lovely guy, man. And do you know what I mean? When you got 2 gentlemen like yourself and Mikael fighting in the ring, it's you almost want. I think you both deserve to see the 12th round in a fight like that when it's for the British title, and you've got 2 great fighters, 2 great guys fighting for that Lonsdale belt. It's almost like an injustice for not one of you to see the final bell, man. That's how I feel anyway when I look at you two. And that's just probably me being all Andrew sitting on the fence and being this, whatever it may be. I don't sit on the fence when it comes to Scottish fighters. I do apologise. I am a biased jock, but Mikael Lawal, great champion, great fighter, and listen, credit where credit is due. He threw the shot and he meant to have landed, and it's done what it needed to do.
He meant to do it, and like you say there, I just want to reiterate that. Big respect to Mikael. He's an absolute gentleman. Look at his story. I mean, he's been through some stuff. So it's and by the way, straight over to the corner. Before the fight was even waved off, he was the first man in the corner to see if I was okay.
Yeah.
There was no mega celebration. Obviously, I didn't get to do my interview. I was away to hospital, and they were very respectful. Him, his new coach. There couldn't be nicer guys. Listen, that's why we're all in the game, innit? It's just proper respect between proper fighting men.
Exactly, and that's what I like to see. Like I say, Mikael Lawal, only met him once, and that was down at the Boxer series when he fought all them years ago. But when I met him, he was an absolute gentleman and a great guy. So he's now the British champion. But I mean, the cruiserweight division, you've done yourself no harm in taking that fight. I mean, it could be a lesson rather than a loss, because you went in that fight against a absolute dangerous man in Mikael Lawal in 10 days' notice. Now, you put the fight to him, although he did stop you with the left hook, left uppercut. But you've shown heart. You've shown that you're willing to fight on 10 days' notice, and you're willing to set a high pace and go for the knockout from the first round to the last round. Now, what's next for you then?
Well, that was the thing. We were down in London, obviously, for the extra day. and we got a chat with Ben Shalom when we came out in the lobby in the hotel. Got a right good chat with him before we left London, and Sky Sports loved it. They'll have me back on. They'll give me a proper camp, proper notice. And what international opponent? I said that. I says, I mean, I've made it clear I'll fight anybody. Give me proper notice, proper camp, and I'll show you what I can do.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously that's just, you know, through word of mouth. There's no contract there or anything like that. But I believe, you know, it seemed convincing enough. I believe we'll get back on. And I mentioned earlier on, like sort of Trump Turnberry in February. You know, you were there yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That version of David Jamieson, physically, with the head that I've got on my shoulders now, that wee bit more experience. I mean, I believe I showed at the weekend there. Well, I was able to box to a game plan. You know me, I'm fast out the traps, you know, boom, hit him with the kitchen sink, but I was a bit more educated, more reserved, worked my jab, took my time, warmed into the fight nicely. So I believe it's all coming together. I know it sounds sort of cheesy, but at this point in time, 31 in January, physically I'm good, no injuries. Mentally, I couldn't be in a better place. Next year, if Ben's forthcoming with what he says, dare I say it, maybe the Josh Taylor card, March time. I believe the job will be ready by then. And maybe get a run of decent level fights on Sky Sports.
But that'll definitely be good to hear if you're on that Josh Taylor card as well, because it'll be good for Scottish boxing. But yeah, obviously you've shown what you're willing to do. So 2023, are you hoping for another crack at that British title? Maybe even the trilogy with Mikael Lawal?
Well, that's the thing. I don't believe. Well, I'd take the fight. I believe I'm a sort of who needs him man at the moment now, and I proved that coming in with 10 days notice. I don't believe Mikael will be that keen on the rematch, especially me with a 10-week training camp. Neither will any of his management. Another crack at the British, great. Whatever comes my way, Andy. Whatever's going to push me up. Vidal Riley, he's kicking about. I mean, is it a shot there? They get a run international opposition. See, as long as it's all good, constructive fights. I don't want journeymen. I don't want, you know, these sort of stagnating fights. I know fighters need to be active. But no, if it's a case of waiting until April, May for a decent show, I'd rather wait than just fill, you know, just fill the bill sort of thing. It's not where I'm at in this stage of my career. I'm not here to take backward steps.
Yeah, definitely. And listen, like I said, you had me and Kelly on the edge of our seats watching your fight, because you know what Kelly's like. She was enjoying the fight, which is like that exactly. No, that was me. That was me. Kelly was going, "Come on, hit him." So listen, well done on taking the opportunity in short notice and putting up the fight you did. Congratulations, Mikael Lawal. Like he did, he done what he needed to do, but again, disappointment for you, because like I say, you were putting the fight to him and you were pushing you're setting the pace. But that's what we get to. That's how I know David Jamieson. I don't think you're going to change your ways anytime soon. Even with a broken jaw, I think you'll just keep going the fight the same way. That's the only way you know. That's it, mate. No, that's it. You know me too well, Andy. keep swinging, mate. Listen, David, pleasure to get you on again. Hope the jaw does heal up quicker than expected, and you get back into the gym and start training again, and you can have a burger and stop sipping on them soups for a straw. A wee Five Guys. Five Guys. A big Five Guys, more like. Listen, you and Big Deck Chisora, man, maybe get a sponsorship. Listen, David, enjoy your evening, mate, and no doubt I'll catch up with you soon, brother. Brilliant, Andy. Nice speaking to you again, mate. Thank you. Thank you, mate. Bye-bye. Cheers.
I'm going to share something with you. That might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something, completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from it, and this has been like a therapy session.